Okay, so last time we have discussed about the playbooks, right? So we were talking about different options which are available for playbook, and so we'll go with repository and DevOps master. And in Ansible, we have seen the Ansible playbooks, and there are a lot of options which we have seen, like how we can use the magic variable, how we can use the tags, how we can create multiple plays, how we can create multiple tasks into a single play. All those things we have seen in our lecture. Excuse me. We have also seen error handling. We have also seen conditional statement. We have also seen loops. Now, um, we will talk about a special type of module which is called Jinja template. Okay, so there is a template module in Ansible which basically provides this functionality which is called the template 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 templating. Okay, in Jinja2. So Ansible uses Jinja2 templating to enable dynamic expression and access the variable and the fetch. Okay, so uh, we will see that how we can use this. We create a file which will have the extension .j2. So J2 is the extension for the Jinja file or Jinja template. So now, how to use this? Let me just go to my documentation and we'll see the Ansible Jinja templates. Okay, and here we will see one example. We'll try with this example. Okay, and we'll try with this example, or let's just go back here and open DevOps world.co.in. I'll take very simple example, then it will be easy to understand. So in Ansible Jinja templates. I will update my documentation accordingly. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a file called my_app.conf.j2. So this before .j2, you can put any primary name, okay, but extension should be j2. So what I'll do, I will go to, you can create it from anywhere, okay, but something is not working. Just 1 second. So cluster is a bit slow. Just The power of my machines. Maybe I need to start it again because some issue was it was having issue with my disk. Let me start these machines again. And Red Hat also. It will take 1-2 minutes to start, but all the machines now it should be okay. Right. So what I will do, I will basically create a file, and in this file, what I'm doing, see, I'm saying env in this file, I'm writing env equals to, in curly braces, double curly braces, I'm writing env. So what does it mean? It means that there will be a variable called env. Now, where is that variable? That variable is defined into a script where this particular app.conf.j2 file is included. Same way, local ID, Ansible underscore host. So Ansible underscore host is the magic variable. So that will be the inbuilt variable which we will use, and it will return the Ansible host name. OS family, so it will return the magic variable OS family. Local OS, it will return the distribution, which is the operating system name. Okay. Now, how we can use this? You can use a module which is called the template module. Under template module, you need to give this file name, which is my file name.j2. And I want on my destination machine. Destination machines means this host machine. It will go and create a file under temp my configure. You can give any path, and this template will be executed. Now, in this template, we are having, these are the magic variables. It will be automatically picked up. But what is this env? Env is not magic variable. So that is why I'm declaring env here. So I'm saying env equals to staging. So now on my destination machines, it will go and create a file called uh, my config file under temp directory. And in that, it will have this content. Environment equals to staging. Local ID, which is Ansible host, means whatever the value of that machine, whether it is Ubuntu, is Red Hat based, right? And OS family and OS detail. So I believe my machine should be in upstate. And start all these machines. These are still in the starting phase. So this is my machine where Ansible is installed, my master machine. So let's wait this to start. Just wait for a minute. This is work on one. Right. So let me log in with the root user. Okay. Now you can create these template anywhere, but I will go to the same directory which is under etc and Ansible directory. Now if I say ls, so these are the files. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a file and let's give the same name here, whatever I had given. My file, my app.conf.j2. So let me give this one. And we will copy this content into that file. System is a bit slow. Yeah. So I have copied. Now let me save this. Now what I will do, I will create a playbook and I will write this content. So I will say, I think I have a directory called playbook, and I will move this file also, which is dot dot slash my underscore app, this file, into my current directory. So dot, this file is copied here, which is my app.conf.j2. Now, so far we have created 13 playbooks. Now I will create 14th one. 14th is also there. 15 is not there, right? So I will say nano 15 underscore and Jinja template dot YAML file. And I will copy that command. Now here I have mentioned host asterisk means it will run for all the hosts. Now environment is staging and I'm using same J2 file, which is my Jinja2 file, and it will create this particular file on my all the host, and it will parse the Jinja2 template. So let me save this. Now let me run Ansible and playbook 15 underscore this file. So it will execute it. It will connect to all the machines. Let me see, my other machines are also in ready state. Yes. Okay. RHEL. It is in the starting mode. Worker 2 is also started. Worker 1 is started. And here it is executing my script. I think it is taking time because RHEL is not in the ready state. These two are in ready state. This is also in ready state. RHEL. It's like RHEL has some issue. Started. And my script is executing as well. So now it is going to all these machines and it is checking the status. Okay, and okay, it is just giving one warning that Ansible fact name you use instead of Ansible because we have used, I think, Ansible underscore host. Now it got executed on all these three machines. So if I go to my worker one, so here you will see cat/tmp slash my config file. Okay, so here you can see the staging is environment. Environment equals to staging, and my ID is this is the IP address, and this is the OS family Debian and OS operating system. Same way, if I go to my Red Hat system, and here if I say cat/tmp and my config file, so you can see environment is staging, local ID is the host IP address, and see OS family is Red Hat and OS is Red Hat. So this way we can use the Jinja2 template to set up our environment variables. Not environment means the variables which is in that file, they get populated. Now it's a template. Now that template you want to parse it on the worker nodes, okay, or the agent machines. So then you can use this. Then you can use this template. Let us see some more example. Now consider that I'm having a file, template file, not this one. Yeah, this is the one. We will create a file. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to add some more thing into that. So I'm change the permission of the parse file. So this file is parsed. So if I go to this file, which is ls-l/tmp, right? So if you see my config file, or I can simply say slash my config file. So you can see it is having read write permission for the owner, read permission for group users and the other users. Same way, if I search on my worker node 1, ls-l/tmp and my config file. So here the same permission. Now I want to change the permission of this. So this is simple. This is not related to Jinja template, but you know, we want to add that part also. So what you can do, you can use a module which is called the file module. Okay, so in file module, so I'll say name, and name is changing the permission, changing the permission to /tmp/my config file. All right. So now I will use a module which is called the file module. In file module, there are some properties. So these are the properties: path, name, etc. So now I will say path. This is the path. I want to change it to Raman. Um, Actually, I don't have Raman in worker 1 and worker 2. So what can I do? I will give, let us see who is the current user. It's root here. Here also, because we are executing with the root permission. If I say ls-l, so here also it is root. So what I will do, I will create a user, vbox user in my Red Hat. So I'll say sudo su, and I will say user add vbox user. Okay. So I will just add this user, which is vbox user. So now all these three systems, they are having vbox user. And here I will say owner is vbox user. And permission, I want to give full permission. So I want to give 777. Okay. So this is the permission, read, write, execute to everyone. Okay. This is not a good idea, but to demonstrate this, that how file module works. So I'm giving this permission. So I'll say save this. Yes. Now let us execute this script. Okay, some error. Okay. That's the indentation error. Right. So now if I go to that particular file and see the permission now, ls-l/tmp and my config file. So now you can see the owner is vbox user, and see full permissions are given to this particular file. Same way, same output you will see it here, that vbox user is the owner and full permission is given to this particular user. All right. Now let us create one more file which is called myhost.conf.j2 file. So let us create this one. So I will go here and I will create this file, nano, and this is the file name. And what is in this file? I am writing this content. OS is Ansible underscore distribution. So I'll just write this one. So it will give you the OS name, right? So if it is Red Hat, it will give Red Hat. If it is Ubuntu, it will give Ubuntu. Now I'm creating this, and here what I'm saying that I will create I'll create this YAML file. In this YAML file, I'm using template, and under template, I'm using the loop. Right. So in the loop, what I'm saying, source is my app under .conf.j2 file, the one template file which we have created different one, my underscore host. Okay. So so this is a different example. Actually, this example is related to my app.conf.j2. So let me just go back to that nano and my app.j2, and what I will do, I have already added this, this example is already discussed, but now it is in a different way. It is with the help of the loop, how we can use loops inside the template. Okay, so here you can see I'm using template. Source is item.src. So with underscore item, what I'm doing, I'm creating a source which is my app.conf.j2, which is my previous file. And destination, I want to create a file called this one, right? My config file. Also, I want to parse another template, which is my host.conf.j2. So this is my right? And here I have written Ansible underscore distribution. So this is the second file which I want to parse on the agent machines, and destination is my host config file, and rest of the thing is same, right? Means I'm giving permission. This is for my config file only, but same way we can add one more module with uh, the same means file module with the same configuration. That also we can change. So, but I will use up till here. Okay. So I will just copy this one. I'll copy this and I will say nano and 16 underscore. I'll say Jinja with loop dot YAML file. Okay. And I will just copy paste that code. Now let me save this. And now if I say Ansible and playbook, which is 16 underscore Jinja with loop. Now there will be two files. The second file is host file under temp directory, which will be having the OS information. So main purpose is that how to show the loop within the template module. That was the main purpose of this example. So now if I go to my any of this machine and I say ls/tmp, so you can see there is a my host config is also there. Now if I read this /tmp and my host config file, so you can see OS is Ubuntu. Now same way if I go here and if I say cat/ tmp/my host config. So you can see there is red hat value stored. Okay, so the main purpose is that how to use the loops. Right. Now let us take one more example of Jinja2, where I'm going to create a file which is called users.j2 file. So let me go here and let me create a file called users.j2. Now here I'm writing this section, and here I'm saying the name is user.name. Now user.name now I am writing. So it means I will have one collection. Under that collection, I will have a property called name, user.username, and email is user.username at example.com, or we will just write at kmitcourses.com. Okay, so this is my Jinja2 template. Right, now I'm creating a YAML. Now here I have a collection. So variable with collection. Name of the user I'm giving John Smith, and username is J Smith. Another name is Mohit Singh, and which is having username M Singh. And under the task, I'm using a module which is the user module. Right? In user module, I'm saying user dot username and user dot name as a comment and state present. Now from where this users comes, so I'm using a loop users. So what this statement will do, it will iterate to my user collections. So I'm taking one variable called user variable. So it will go to the first user, then second user, and third user, and so on. So it will continue the iteration in that loop until it reach to the last element of the collection. Okay, so here it will create a user with the username means John Smith, and username is J Smith, and name is John Smith, right? And it will iterate again to second user, and it will take M Singh as the username and Mohit Singh as the comment. Right? Now I have created this users.j2 template. So I want to use this template, and I want that there must be a directory get created, which is user dot, because when you create the user, directory get created by default. And once the directory get created, then under that username, for that particular username, I want to create a file called git config. So it will parse users.j2 file into this git config. Okay, and I will be iterating through this collection, and my loop control is user. Okay, so let us try this example now. So I will copy this completely, and I will say nano 17 underscore Jinja user template dot YAML file. Let me save this. Now I'll say Ansible playbook and 17 underscore YAML file. So now it will parse, it will create the user and create a config file under the home directory of the user with those details. So you can see users are getting created and everything get created. Now it is processing the Jinja template, and it is still processing, and it is done. Now it means if I go to my worker one and here ls, you can sudo su. So if I say cat slash etc slash password file, so you can see there is a jsmith and msync users get created. Now there must be a file under their respective home directory. So if I say ls slash home, so there will be a jsmith. So there is a file called git config. Now in this config file, we will have the parsed template file. So if I say git config, so you can see name is John Smith, J Smith, and this is the email address. Same way, if I go to another one, which is msync, and there will be a git config, and it will have the detail for the user, which is Mohit Singh. Username is msync, and email, that is the username at kmitcourses.com. So this is how the Jinja templates are used. Do you have any question?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, let us talk about next topic, which is Ansible Galaxy. Okay. So what is Ansible Galaxy? Ansible Galaxy is a platform where a lot of playbooks are already defined, and those playbooks are basically created by some developers, and we can use those playbooks directly into our environment. For example, if I say I want to go to my Ansible Galaxy portal, so I'll say Ansible Galaxy. So Ansible Galaxy. Now here you can see roles, namespace, collections, right? So you can see roles here. If you want to search something, for example, I'm searching for Apache 2. Right? So you can see that I want to see on the basis of download count. So you can see 3 years ago, this person has created and these many downloads. I will search for the keyword, which is Apache. So this is the one who is see these many downloads, right? So I want to use his code. So what I will do, I will take this one, and what he is saying that use this statement, it will create Ansible roles for you. So if I go to my statement here, cd dot dot, and if I say ls, so you can see there is a folder which is called roles folder. So now we will be learning this role. So roles is the, you can say, collection of playbooks only, but it is having some you can say systematic or structured way to create the playbooks. Okay, those we will see the structure also. What is the structure of that? But before that, I will go to my ansible.cfg file and I will search for roles underscore path. Right. Roles underscore path. Right. So here I will uncomment this, and I want my roles path will be this one only. Okay, I don't want. So this is the path where my role will be created. So what I will do, I will save this now. So if I say ls role, so you can see there is nothing in this directory at this moment. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to I'm going to copy this statement, which is created by this developer. I will copy this and I will paste it here. Ansible Galaxy role install. Guidling is the username, Guidling guy, and Apache is the role name. So when so it will create Guidling guy.apache directory under my roles. So you can see there is one directory get created. Let me run tree command. Tree command I don't have. Let me install tree. apt install tree command. Right. So now if I see tree roles, so you can see it has created so many files. See, these are the YAML files. So we'll do one thing on worker node. If I say systemctl status Apache 2, so it is there. So I will uninstall this. I will say apt purge Apache 2. Okay. And same way on this system sudo su here I will say apt purge Apache 2. And on my Red Hat system, what I will do, systemctl stop httpd. So for Red Hat, it is httpd. Now if I say systemctl status and httpd, so you can see it is in the inactive mode, stopped mode. And here Apache is getting uninstalled. Here also it is getting uninstalled, right? So now if I say systemctl status Apache 2, so you can see it is not found. Now what I will do, I will use this role as it is. So there are many YAML files, there are different folders. We will talk about this structure, okay? But first, I want to run this role. To run this role, what I will do, I will create a playbook. I will say vi role.yaml file. Okay, role.yaml file. So now I will use triple hyphen. Where you want to execute? I want to execute it on the host, which is all the host. Okay, and I want to execute the not the task this time roles. So what is the role name? So role name is that name. My role name is, this is the role name. I want to execute this role. So it will automatically install Apache on my system, and it will start the Apache if it is in the stop state. That is what that role is doing. Now let me save this. Now I'll say Ansible playbook and role.yaml file. So now it will execute that particular role. So it means if you find some role which is means where you see those YAML files and you don't want to write the code from the scratch, you can use that role, right? So it will save a lot of time, right? Or you can create your own custom role also. So after this, we will create our custom role. It is executing that role. It is installing Apache on my worker 1 and worker 2. On RHEL, it is already installed. It will start the service. So it is skipping some of the part which is not required. Maybe if the condition is that if the operating system is Debian based, then use apt. If it is Red Hat based, then run the yum command. So, skipping, if you see, so it is skipping because of those reasons. We'll talk about what is handler and notify also. Okay, so this is executed. So the result of this is that if I go here now, if I run this, see, Apache is installed. Same thing is on this system. If I say system serial status Apache 2. So this is installed too. Now here in RHEL, it should be in the running state now. So if I say system serial, and now you can see it is active and running. Okay, so everything is written in that particular role only. And that role we have used, we have not written any code related to installing the Apache. We just execute that role. Now, if you want to create your own role, so the command which we have executed, which is install, now you can use remove to remove this role. Now, if I say ls roles, so you will see that directory is deleted. Now, I want to create my own role. To create your own role, what you need to do? To create your own role, what you can do? You can create a directory structure. And if you want that directory structure is automatically get created, use this command, Ansible Galaxy init Apache 2, Apache and offline. So I'm running this command. So what this command will do? So actually this command, I need to run it inside my roles where I want to create the roles. So my directory is uh, roles directory, right? And here I will execute this code. Now what it is doing, it is creating one roles, which is called role is Apache and with some directory structure. Now, if I run the tree command, so you can see that Apache role is created with some directory structure. Now, these directories are like we are having file handlers. So let us do one thing. Let us use this and understand these directories. So what I will do here, I will go to the task directory. Okay. Under task directory, which is this directory, every directory you will find one file which is called main.yml file, except templates directory. In templates, you can put the Jinja templates. So here in main.yml file, the main purpose is that whenever that particular directory get executed, it only look at the main.yml file. And if you want to execute something else, then you need to execute or you need to call those files inside the main.yml file. So now what I will do, I will go to this Apache task directory. And here, if I read this main.yml file, so you can see this is an empty file because these are comments and triple hyphen is not having any statement. So what I will do, first I will add these entries into my main.yml file. So what I'm going to do, I'll say vi and main.yml file, and I will remove these entries, and I'm saying include install.yml and configure.yml. Let me save this. Now, what I need to do, I need to create the file which is install.yml because I'm calling it I'm calling it inside my main.yml file. Now, in install.yml, I'm writing this code. I will update my GitHub repository also, but for now, I'm just taking the reference. This is my blog only, but GitHub is a better option. So I'm writing this. Okay. So little bit, yeah. So what I'm doing here in install.yml, I'm saying install Apache on Ubuntu, apt module, name Apache 2, state present when OS family is Debian. Same way, second statement I'm writing that install httpd on the Red Hat system. So yum module, name is httpd and state is present when Ansible OS family is Red Hat. Okay, so let me save this. Now, another file was configure.yml. In configure.yml, I will just copy this as it is. I will explain you in a bit. Okay, we'll see this in a bit, but for now, I'm just copy pasting as it is. I'll save this. Now, in handler, also I will copy it as it is, and I will explain you this in a bit. So this is under handler, cd // handlers, and this is under main.yml file. Let me remove all this and let me copy that code. Right. So let me save this. Next, I need to, under files, I need to create this test.html. So I will say this statement where I need to create under // files test.html, and I will create a file which is status.txt. So I'll say touch and files and status.txt. Okay. Right. Now let me run the tree statement cd . Now let me run the tree statement. Now what I am having under the file, I have status.txt and test.html. So this, if you want to share the files across the role, then you can put those files under the files directory. For example, I want to use status.txt and test.html into my code, which is configure.yml. So I keep these files here. If you want to share the files, put it under the shares. If you want to send some notification means, for example, I want a trigger point. If this happens, then execute that particular script or that particular YAML file. So in that case, we use notify, and notify execute a handler. So in handler, that YAML file, I have mentioned it here. In metadata, you will find a metadata about your role. So if I say cat and meta, and main.yaml file. So you can see this is a metadata, license information, author information, version information, all those things you can put it under this meta main.yaml file. Right? So now let us see, now let us understand this configure.yaml code. So here in configure.yaml file, what I'm writing, copy status.txt. So it will look for the files directory and it will copy on my destination agent machine under temp status.txt. Second, I want to execute a notification. I want to trigger a notification. So I use notify and I'm saying restart Apache service. So what it will do, it will restart the Apache service when the OS family is Debian. What it will do, it will not restart here. It will go to the handler. So under handler, it will match this name, restart Apache service. If it is matched, then whatever the module I am executing in this, so that module get executed. So here I'm saying Apache 2 is started or restarted, right? So same way, I want to, in configure.yaml, I want to same with the httpd status. I'm copying status.txt file to my destination, means on the Red Hat machine. What it will do, it will notify restart httpd service, which will trigger the handler YAML file. So here the handler YAML file, which says http service, right? And it will start the httpd service. Also, I want to copy this test.html. So this is the another part in the configure.yaml, which I want to execute, where I want to execute the copy module. This is my test.html file, and it will execute this copy module, copy the test.html file and put it under var www.html directory. Okay, so all these we are doing. Now what we need to do, we need to execute this script, right? So let us go to cd dot dot and I will open uh, cd dot dot and vi and roles dot yaml file. Now this time I want to execute it on the, I want to execute my role. My role name is Apache only. Okay, I will execute this Apache role. Let me save this. And what I will do, I will uninstall Apache so that we will see whether Apache is get installed on these machines with this role. You can do it on the Red Hat system also. Now what I will do, Ansible and playbook and role dot YAML file. I will execute this. Oh, there is an error. Okay, so it is saying include is removed. Now it is import underscore task. So we will search that how to use import underscore task. So I'll do here import underscore task Ansible. Right? So this is the module, which is a core module and inbuilt module. So what we need to do, how to use this, we'll see the example. So we need to use import task and file name. Okay. So we will use the same thing. So I will say nano under roles, I have Apache under that task and under that main.yaml file. So here I will say import underscore tasks install.yaml, and here also import underscore tasks. Yes. So let me save this. Let me try to execute this now. Right. Now it is getting executed. Right. So everything is getting executed. You can see the file, the handler. So everything get executed. So it means I will have Apache installed. I will have ls slash where slash tab HTML directory. I have test.html file here. Also ls slash tmp. I will have status.txt file. So this way we have created our own role and we have executed it. Okay. So this is all about the roles and this is all about the Ansible. Okay. So do you have any question? Good. All right. So